Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming back for another Waxing with Wade for episode number 58. Slowed down just a little. I've been doing about a pace of one every 10 days to 2 weeks. I'm going to try to pick up that pace and get back on one a week. Sorry for the delays. A lot going on here, holidays plus my grandchildren. I'm very pleased to feature today one I really can't believe I waited episode 58 to do, because this is such a classic. Bad Company, the debut album by Bad Company, 1974, credits on the back, cover designed by Hypnosis, famous for their covers. I've done several. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon was one of them. Probably others I can't remember right now. Great photo inside, and then I'm going to introduce the band. Check this out, all four members. And especially over here on this side, anyone thought androgyny in music and life was anything new, wasn't paying attention to rock and roll in the 70s and late 60s. A lot of bands dressed this way and wore makeup and had their hair done like women, like really well coiffed. And anyway, necklaces, even some of their attire, as you know, many of you know. On up into the 80s and the hair bands, a lot of them were that way too. You just kind of overlooked it back then. It wasn't a big deal. It's a great Saturday Night Live skit on that. You should look up sometime. I'm trying to, if I think of the name of it, I'll mention it. It's on YouTube. Okay, Bad Company was the first band signed by Led Zeppelin when they created their label, Swan Song Records, following kind of another British band's footsteps, legendary band, the Beatles. Let me show you what the label looks like. It's an iconic label because most of the Led Zeppelin records, all of the ones that came out really after the early years, were on this label. But this is the first record released and the first band signed by them, Bad Company. Interestingly enough, the band the Beatles signed first, which I mentioned in the Abbey Road episode, was Badfinger. Bad and bad. Anyway, this album is also of note. They're British, just like Led Zeppelin, because it's the only album I've ever known of, and if anyone can find another, please put it in the comments, that has the debut album by the same name of the band, a lot of those, but with the song on that album of the same title, exactly, Bad Company, which leads off side two. It'd be a great lead into the album, but I have a feeling that they thought that was too much, maybe. So lead it off with side two. And they let off side one, which was a big hit and still a rock standard, which we'll get to in a minute. Paul Rodgers on vocals, one of the great rock and roll male vocalists of all time, one of my top 5 of all time, if I rank them. Love his voice. He just really sings his heart out on this and on all their albums. They were a backbone band of the 70s, one of the bands that put out steady, great, solid records, one after the other. They started in 74, not early in the decade, but went all the way up through the 70s with like 5 great studio albums all in a row. And this was the first, and had 4 or 5 radio standards, what have become classic rock radio standards, are on this album, and we'll hear in each and every one of them. Paul Rodgers on vocals and acoustic guitar on a song I'll briefly spotlight that he wrote. He did some of the writing. Most of the writing was Mick Ralphs, who was the next member I'll introduce, who played guitar and some keyboards. And then there was the drummer, Simon Kirke, and the bass player, Boz Burrell. Boz Burrell, formerly of King Crimson, Simon Kirke, and Paul Rodgers, formerly of Free, you know that band, All Right Now, Free. Paul's great vocals, sounds like a Bad Company song to me, or this sounds like Free, either way you look at it. And then Mick Ralphs came from Mott the Hoople. And in fact, my favorite song by Bad Company is on this album. We're going to hear it. Not a single, but still heard on the radio a lot these days, is Ready for Love, which was a second version of this song Now, Mick Ralphs wrote it, but he wrote it while he was a member of Mott the Hoople, and it appeared on their album, All the Young Dudes. And then he left and joined formed Bad Company with Paul Rodgers and the other two, and left that band and took the song with him, and man, they own it. Gosh, I can't wait to get to that song. It's about all I can say about the band. They're legendary, at least in the 70s. So, and I'm glad to be back in my meat of my collection and my favorite music, which is the 70s. And I'm going to do several in the 70s, I'm sure, coming up here. I know I've been all over the board, done a lot of 60s and other decades, some, but I'm going to be back in the 70s for sure. We're going to start it off with Can't Get Enough of My Love. I'm going to actually play 3 parts of it because this is a great song. Talk about a great song to start your career with. The first song, if somebody bought this, they would hear. I'm sure you know it. Drums pounding on that song and the drums on Ready for Love, we're here coming up, just pounding and fabulous. In fact, they do remind me of John Bonham's sound from Led Zeppelin, and I think they may have shared producers on this album and Led Zeppelin's producer at the time. Okay, let me just skip ahead a little bit. I want you to hear this little lead break. That great lead guitar, very catchy. You may know it from the radio. Let's see. Double guitar leads. I don't know if you could tell, that's why that lead guitar sounded so full. And I could really hear them separate in these speakers. Both Mick Ralphs, I mean, he was the main guitarist for the band, though Paul Rodgers, you're going to hear play some beautiful acoustic guitar on the song. But this is Mick Ralphs overdubbed. I don't know how they did that live, but anyway, I never got to see Bad Company in those days in the 70s, sadly. Anyway, it finishes out with another great lead. Let's just check this out. just hit me that their lead guitars remind me of the lead guitars and how I appreciate them from the Eagles. How catchy they are, how they're not just screaming fast as you can play, showing off, but just great catchy lead guitars that you get in your head. I mean, I could sing or pick out on a piano or sing the notes on these leads. I've heard them so many times and they're so catchy. I'm sure some of you feel the same. Okay, now, second song, Rock Steady. That first song, and most of the rockers on this album are written by Mick Ralphs. One's co-written with Paul Rodgers. That was a Mick Ralphs tune, and this is a Paul Rodgers tune. It's also a rocker, a little bit more bluesy rocker. Rock Steady. Great grooving song, Paul Rodgers tune. Okay, now moving on. The highlight of the album for me, and I hear this song on the radio, I cannot get enough of it. Ready for Love. We're going to hear the main opening, and then I'm going to go ahead to a wonderful keyboard solo done by Mick Ralphs.
Walking down this rocky road, wondering where my life is leading, rolling on to the bitter end, finding out along the way what it takes to keep love living. You should know how it feels, my friend.
Ahead a little here because this wonderful keyboard solo. It's really cool. Mick Ralphs performing. vocals. They're sprinkled throughout. Great female vocals by two women that are credited on the back here. I'll just mention them. Oh, are they not on the back? I think I saw it online. Oh, no, let's see. It's gotta be here. Oh yeah, Sue and Sunny. Their last names aren't on there. What a slight. Sorry about that, Sue and Sunny. And I don't have their last names at my fingertips. It's on my phone. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's 3 of the 4 songs on that side. Now, a great song called Don't Let Me Down follows it. Mick Rouse, Paul Rogers co-composition. But in the interest of time, I need to move on. And this first song right out of the chute on side 2, Bad Company by Bad Company from the album, you guessed it, Bad Company. Paul Rogers wrote this. Along with Simon Kirk. Paul Rogers.
Company, always on the run. Destiny is a rising sun.
It's just getting ready to break down. You know it.
Six gun in my hand, behind a gun, I make my final stand. Hey.
Love the way it comes.
That's why they call me Bad Company, but I can't deny. Bad Company, till the day I die. Till the day I die. Till the day I die.
I love the way it comes in heavy, but not too heavy. It's perfect. Okay, now going ahead a little bit, we're going to hear the great bridge and lead that comes in, lead guitar.
Bad company, till the day I die. Till the day I Bad company, I can deny.
Well, the bass and drums really come through well on that song too. What a great 3-piece instrumental band on the guitar, bass, and drum. Wow. Okay, now we're gonna play the third song on this side. You've probably heard it. The other single, besides Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Moving On, and it's really rocking and catchy. One of the fast, catchy songs on here. Check out the bass in the opening here. So cool.
I get up in the morning and it's just another day. Pack up my belongings, I got to get away. Jump into a taxi and the time is getting tight. I got to keep it moving. I got a show tonight and I'm moving on from town to town. Moving on, baby, never seem to touch the ground. I take it to the ticket there's
All right, now I want to tip ahead, and because I got to get in here, the lead, which is my favorite of all these great lead guitar solos. This is my favorite.
moving on.
also sings his ass off on that song. I love it. Now, just to finish it out, I don't want to go too long in this episode. This is the last song. It's a great ballad, beautiful song, and this is all Paul Rogers. Him and writing it, singing it, and acoustic guitar. Seagull.
Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asked you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Here is a man asking a question.
Go to the chorus here.
Never long time, the shape of things to come. Now you fly through the sky, never asking why, and you fly all around till somebody shoots you down.
Man, what a beautiful song to end the album. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Bad Company. Sorry it took so long. I'll be back with another classic vinyl in a week or so on the next Waxing with Wade.